What's up? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the PPC Questions and Answers show. Oh, Chris, it is a little different. It is a different when you don't start when you start at the same time. It's a little bit different, but it's still the same quality AdWords and life information from Jason Rothman and Chris Schaefer. He did not introduce us on the last episode. So
I did too. See, you're screwing it up. Now we're going to have to edit one.
Sure you did. Now, everybody, this is the paid search podcast. It's a paid search podcast, but we just do questions and answers on this show. So, and we get right to it. So Colin writes in, and it's a long question, and we appreciate the question. Now, Colin, you were asking about you're a pest control guy. You want to advertise for your pest control business, and you do things like rats, mice, fleas, bed bugs, and you also do services like fumigation, extermination, nest removal. And what Colin was asking us is, okay, I do all these different types of pest control, but then I have all these different types of services I offer with each kind of pest. How many ad groups do I need? Do I need an ad group for rats versus fleas? But then if I do I need an ad group for rat extermination versus rat nest removal? And Chris, this really, the idea of doing that and going that deep, I could just see it on your face. It really bothered you. So why don't you speak to how many ad groups you would do and how you would break it up if you were advertising for a pest control company? And then anyone listening, they can kind of extrapolate that to their business. Go ahead.
All right. That's a weird transition.
I was going to say to their business or lack of a business because they haven't made money in 3 years and they're about to go out of business. Whatever people are doing out there.
Right. Now, whatever people are struggling out there. Appreciate the sympathy. So, okay. So here it is. I'm going to lay it out on how detailed. This is a great question, Colin, because this, we talk about, you need to theme your ad groups, and you're wondering like, well, how themed is theme? Does theme mean 4 sub-level groups, or does that mean just, 2 for each one, or is that 1 for each one? So here's how I would suggest. And I think I'm glad that you told us what your industry is, because it's a perfect example. So let's say our pest control. There's 2 things you need to base it on. Then I'm going to give you an example of how it works. The first thing you need to base it on is how people search. Okay. Because if someone searches for pest control and you're interested in advertising for that, then you need those keywords. If you want to advertise for fleas, if you want to advertise for bed bugs, woodworm, however people search, and if you want to provide that service, you need a ad group for that, because when someone searches woodworm or fleas or mice or rats, they need to see an ad in relation to that. So it needs to be keyword and then an ad that matches that type. Okay. So the next thing is you're wondering, should I then subcategorize that as mice fumigation, mice extermination, and nest removal? So you have 3 ad groups just for mice.
For sub-services.
Yeah. I mean, so this gets really detailed. So the second one that it goes to is you need to understand that you need to build AdWords campaigns based on the knowledge level of the people that you're advertising to, not your own knowledge level. This is a big issue for people who are managing their own AdWords campaigns. They're business owners. Their knowledge level in their industry is really high, and they're going to build keywords and ad groups and campaigns based on these minute details about their industry. So for you, it'd be, you can do fumigation for rats, or you can do nest removal. And those are 2 different services. But the thing is, for me, the consumer, I don't care what you do. I just want them out. Right. So you don't need to address these things because it's really going to be overkill. The only reason you'd ever need to do it is if you're actually finding a search volume for some of these things. If you're finding that you're getting a lot of searches for fumigation and nest removal, and they're showing different trending metrics, lots of them are really trending well for nest removal, but not for fumigation, then maybe you split them. But in reality, people aren't going to be that knowledgeable. They're just like, I need a pest control guy in my area, near me. Right. I need a rat removal near me. They're not going to say things like fumigation. They don't care how you do it. They just care that it gets done. So avoid minor details. Stop when you get to the point that you pass a knowledgeable expert level, a knowledgeable consumer level down into the expert level. If you're getting into the point that a normal person would not be searching for these things, then you've gone too far. Your ad group breakdowns are too far. You've gone too complex. You're wasting your time. You're going to get a bunch of low search volume keywords, a lot of zero impressions over 2-3 months, basically getting nothing. And you've gone through all this time. You have a hugely complex campaign, and only 10 keywords are really getting any clicks. So,
right.
Jason, what do you think? Did I hit it on the nose?
You hit it on the nose. I just make ad groups for different services. That, like you're saying, the different way people search for things. You deal with rats, you deal with mice, you deal with fleas, woodworms, bed bugs. Those can all be different ad groups. Then have the bed bug fumigation near me, bed bug extermination, bed bug pest control, bed bug pest control near me. All three of those different kinds of searches and sub-services, those can all be in the same ad group as keywords. And then, like you said, just go with the data. If for whatever reason you get a ton of different clicks for bed bug fumigation, which no one would ever search, they're going to search pest control bed bugs or bed bugs extermination. But if for whatever reason fumigation got a ton of traffic, you can always break it up into its own ad group later. So I would say start with a smaller number, err on the side of smaller initially, and you can look at what's getting traffic and always go bigger in terms of ad groups later, but really keep it to your service levels. And then you can have similar keywords within those ad groups. And by the way, you can put fumigation, extermination, and nest removal. That sounds like great ad copy to me. Those sound like great call outs to me. The specific things you do for each kind of service you do, those can be ad copy things or call out things. So with that said, Colin, good luck on your campaign. Godspeed. And we'll see you next time on the PPC questions and answers.